Hello, hello everybody. Welcome to Los Angeles Performance Practice Casual Information Session. I hope all of you are doing great this evening, this beginning of the week, this Monday. If can you all hear me well? If you can, like, please drop on the chat um, your name, pronouns, and also where's your practice. We always love to start like that, so we know who's joining us in the room. I'll be running today this session, and feel free while we go while we move forward to drop questions also in the chat. I'm gonna be making some breaks um, and addressing those questions, but of course at the end I can like review and yeah get to try to like cover all the doubts that you might have. My name is William Ruiz Morales, and I'm a programs associate here at Los Angeles Performance Practice. Actually, today I'm joining from the from our office, and yeah, it's great to be here to share the work that we are doing specifically now with Casual, the program that we love because of what the options that it gives artists of showing their work in progress. And I prefer he, him pronouns, and I'm also a practicing performance-based artist and dramaturg. And before we begin, I also wanted to acknowledge that we are joined by Teresa McFarland, that is our interim general manager, and Martian Delalis, the development specialist. And I would like to invite them to introduce themselves if they want to. So you also know like more people from our team who are joining.
Hi, I'm Martian DeLellis. Pronouns are they, them. I'm the development specialist here at Los Angeles Performance Practice, and I'm really excited to help fill the gaps in creative infrastructure and read about your proposals.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Terrence. I use ever, he, and him pronouns. I'm currently the interim GM here at LA Performance Practice, and I too am excited to read your proposals. And uh, I love this program. I've been an attendee in the past. I'm happy to be on this side of it and supporting all of you in your work going forward. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you, William, for leading the session.
Thank you, both of you. And yeah, probably like while we move forward, maybe there are questions that also Martin and Terence will help me answer if I'm unsure of what the response would be. And yeah, I'm moving forward. I would like to double check again, like if you have the access that you need, the chat is enabled. There's also the option of closed caption. You can like find this button on the lower part of your screen. There's been some updates on Zoom, so maybe like things have been moving around. So yeah, but there's the option of this closed caption if you need it. And I also wanted to start by acknowledging the land where we are. Like I'm assuming also that most of you are joining from Los Angeles. It's that is currently called Los Angeles, but it's I wanted to acknowledge that I'm zooming in from the Tomba Keys land in Los Angeles, California. I'm gonna drop a resource on the chat at the end of the session with some information and also an article about the Tongva language that I recently read, and I think that is very interesting because the way that we want to approach this land acknowledgement, like, is not only acknowledgement, but we're also thinking in terms of what could be the commitment that we can have with these traditional stewards of the land that are still here and are still practicing, and not only in the arts, but like this integrative approach to the land that native people have been developing for so many years. So after that acknowledgement, yeah, at the end, I'm going to share some resources that I encourage you to connect and like to review and also like find ways of how you can engage beyond acknowledgement with Native Americans in the region or in the land that you are currently living in. You also should be seeing now our this presentation that is going to help me kind of see the structure or like yeah, like continue the structure of the session today. If you are if you cannot see it yet, let me know. And also, if you want me to stay on one of the slides because like you want me to spend more time on a specific subject, like just feel free to yeah say it on the chat, and I'll try to keep track on yeah like all the information that you might need. So to start, I want to share like the flow of the session. We already like welcome you and did this like a short land acknowledgement. We're going to start with LAPP overview. So for some of you that might not know, the organization can have an insight of what the work that we do and a general like philosophy that we like to express that is kind of guiding us through the work that we've been doing for this year. Then we're gonna go into the program description that includes also financial transparency, the timeline that the program is gonna follow. We're gonna see the interest forms. We're gonna go like through the questions, and probably that would be like a great time to think what kind of like clarifications you might need. So stay or any question that you might have, please feel free to drop it on the chat. And finally, we're gonna see the review process, kind of like the guidelines that we have for reviewing the different, I mean, different aspects that we use for reviewing the applications. And yeah, and then we'll open for Q&A. So moving into Los Angeles Performance Practice is a non-profit organization devoted to the production and presentation of contemporary performance by artists whose work advances and challenges multidisciplinary artistic practices. Our mission is to support a unique and diverse constellation of artists and audiences through the active creation and presentation of groundbreaking experiences that uses innovative approaches to collaboration, technology, and social engagement. Anchored in Los Angeles, our artists and projects have national and global reach. Across a range of platforms and partnerships, we build an active network of contemporary practitioners, curators, and producers, artists and designers, audience and patrons, all leverage in service to the ideas and issues of our time. We always start by talking about the mission of our organization because we always try that all of our programs are connected to this mission in a very essential way. For us, this mission goes beyond like just like a narrative that we use to identify ourselves, but we're always reviewing like ways that we can update, actualize this mission. And Casual is one of these programs that we use to push forward this mission. Casual as a program was originally piloted in 2019, and it has three different iterations. Um, Four iterations that you can see here, the the different opportunities that we had in the past to for this program. We in the past we had this hosting structure, like when we invited artists, local artists from LA to host these sessions, but we have changed a little bit for this year the structure of the program, and there's not going to be this host, and we're also expanding to 4 projects. Like in the past, we had like different different yeah, groups, like amount of artists joining the program, and using this and use this artist host structure. But now we want to experiment more with like opening this structure, and use like more like a submission way of receiving the and selecting the different projects. Continuing in 2024, that's the here it's reflected what I was mentioning about the project and the support that we want to expand for the projects. Like we've been trying to grow in terms of funds that we offer the different artists, and this year each project is going to receive a $500 stipend, as like reflects also the change in economy that we are all experiences. And as a general proposal for the program is that the piece should be ready to perform with limited time in the space, and rehearsals will likely not be available. The program, I mean, it's still a modest honorarium for each lead artist, but that stipend can also be distributed among the different collaborators. Like you're also free to, if you receive this funding, to distribute it in any way that you think is more beneficial for your project. In addition to this small support that we give for this work in progress, we also have a little budget for little pieces of prop or a custom piece that is needed for the piece, like very limited budget, but that can be used for supporting the different needs that you might have in the development of your work. Yeah. And this program is designed, as mentioned on the slide, is designed for projects that need very minimal additional support in terms of technical needs, or in terms of space. It's going to be presented in a venue that we're going to be announcing very soon, but it's gonna be probably like a very small, not a small, but a medium to small size black box. So that's important for you to take into account when you are um, working on your application. And so the program is designed for pieces that are in a super early stage, and maybe a project that has a few showings, but that is still, in the process of getting its final structure, and also something that can benefit from feedback. We encourage everybody that wants to participate in the program to be open, or to plan for a talk back, or engagement with the audience, and also the guests that you might have on your presentation, even when it's not a requirement for the program, is something that we encourage you to do, because we feel that we will be presenting projects or works that are at that point of where it can benefit from that feedback from an audience or other members that you want to invite, and also LAPP's team. For like continuing on that aspect of the technical limitations of the program, I wanted to highlight that this is not like the best opportunity for working on more of a technical or production development of your piece. It's more space for proof of concept, for them to have the piece bear to the minimum, because we will be offering very minimal lighting setup and sound playback. And also the piece should be ready to perform on just with one technical run that is going to be probably on the same day of the presentation. So those are that's the scope, the technical scope of the program. I hope that that's kind of like gives an idea of technically what kind of projects we are um, like interested in showing, what kind of project we are looking to support with this program. Um, I would like to move now into the financial transparency of this that we always like to provide from LAPB, so you understand like the way that we operate. In particular, this program is funded by the grant from the California Arts Council statewide and regional networks program in the amount of $6,280 to support artist services, general operation, information, and communication. We also received funding to cover a portion of my own personal time from the California Council's Individual Artist Fellowship. There is a fellowship program that I'm managing. So part of my time is also like covered by that funding. Because LAPP is working as serving as an administrating organization for the county. And then we also receive additional support for our programs for artists in the amount of 6,250 from the Andrew Mellon Foundation that we were like lucky to receive this year, and have allowed us to move forward the few of our programs here at LAPP. And yeah, that's how we've been like continue to offer this program and also like raise the rate in comparison with the previous years. If you're still like interested in knowing like how these funds are distributed, like how we build the budget for this program, and just feel free to reach out to me, and I can also share more in depth how we are operating this budget. Um, now, moving forward into the timeline, well, the interest forms are already available. They're available on our website under the casual program description. The interest form, and this is at the very important date, are due on July 22nd at 6 p.m. And please note that it's like 6 p.m. and it's not at 12 in the night. That's how like normally yeah, submissions deadline times are, but we are trying to implement the 6 p.m. um, time because we feel that is more accurate on how the work timelines for us and also for applicants work. So yeah, just keep in mind that it's like 6 p.m. and not at 12. If you, we always encourage you to apply as soon as possible. I will be receiving all the application, then distributing it to the reviewers. So yeah, it's great also like not to have all the applications at last moment, like they have all the volume then. So yeah, as whenever you like feel ready to submit, we are already like receiving and reviewing applications. Um, in that timeline, it says that a notification will be on the week of August 19 after interest forms are closed on July 22nd. Then we'll move to the reviewing stage of the program, and yeah, on that week of August 19 we'll do the announcement, and the work in progress showings are going to be on October 19th. So that gives us 2 months to prepare, and something that is not included there because those dates are not yet in place, but we're gonna schedule meetings with the program recipients and also with the venue producers, so to make sure that you receive all the support that you need to present your work um, uh, in this program. And all work in progress are going to be presented on October 19th. So that's also like it's something that reflects on the kind of projects that we are looking to support, is that they're also can live together with other projects in terms of setting and in terms of the how easy it is to also like have this whole program in one evening. That's our timeline. And I would like to move now into the interest form. We're using Airtable as a platform for receiving the interest forms. And something that is important for when you're working on Airtable is that there's no option to save while you are working on the form. So we recommend that you save your work in a different platform. You can do Word, Google Doc, and any like text processing tool or software that you want to use, and then transfer that information when you're ready to submit. So to make sure that you're not losing the your work process. Now, give me 1 minute to change the share screens so we can go through the actual submission form. And second. So many screens. Okay, we should be there. Let me know if you can find it. I'm gonna use some time now to before we dive into the form to review some of the messages that you've written in the chat, just to make sure there's no questions yet. Okay. Yeah, also great to see who is joining. So this is our form, our interest form. In there, we also have added some information about the submission that we encourage you all to review. So to make sure that you have the right approach to when filling the form. And again, something that is mentioned in there that is like one of the main days that we have is like the deadline for submissions that is going to be on July 22nd at 6 p.m. Some information about the review process that we will gonna we'll go back to it later. The criteria, that is something that we'll gonna talk about later as well. And then also like information here, you can find also my contact. Like feel free to send me an email with any the doubts that you might have when you're working on this submission. And so there are different sections to this form. We start, of course, with the contact information. Even if you decide to work with collaborators or as an ensemble, please use the main artist information to fill this section of the form. So we're clear of who is going to be the contact, and also for practical announcement reasons that we know who is going to be the main artist in the project, or at least the contact point. Then we have some drop down questions. We know that sometimes it's hard to define your work. That's why also we have added um, this option of talking about hybrid forms or multimedia. But we always encourage everybody to be as specific as you can with the kind of practice that you have. So when we're reviewing the form, we can also enter from that point of view, no? Like we get to know each other by this artistic form and that you practice. Then there are some demographic questions that are important for us also to better serve like a diverse community of artists and understand also like if like how broad the range of different like abilities or different ages and or gender identities we are reaching in the with this program. So thank you for filling this question are super important for the way that we operate. And then there is this artist statement and biography. As I mentioned before, there's no way to save your work process when you're on Airtable. So again, feel free now, like we encourage you to use another platform to like keep the information that you're using and then transfer to Airtable. Then we go into the project summary, title, project description. Something that I will like to point here is that we don't have a limit in terms of character or in terms of word that you use for the description of your project. But again, the point of view that we kind of suggest for artists to approach this section is to make sure that you're communicating uh, clearly like how the project is going to happen on the stage. Even when we're talking about like work in progresses, it's important for us to understand like how this project is presented to an audience, like what kind of needs, practical needs, and also what kind of engagement with the audience this project is gonna have. So yeah, like it's always like a good exercise to think how an audience member will see this performance, like what is the dramaturgy maybe of this project, so we can have like a good understanding on what you're planning to do, what you're planning to present during the casual showcase. Again, we are not able to provide a full line in design for the showing, and that's something that we ask you to acknowledge, like by checking um, this question or this item. And also in terms of flooring, we might not have what we're not able to commit to like a large stage or a stage that adapts to specifically to your project. So yeah, also keep that in mind for when you're working on your application. If we also ask if it requires audio playback, and then a description of production needs of the project. And here on the collaboration and creative team is then your opportunity to present your collaborators or people that you're planning to work with, and also like their role in the project. Something that is always important for us is to understand what is the catalyst for your project, like where is it coming from, and also to understand what drives your creative work. And something that could be um, like a strategy for you also to approach this question is see how your own what drives your creative work also intersects with LAPB's mission or the kind of project that we support. The project trajectory too. Remember that this is a showing for work in progresses, and this is the time that you can like show either like performances that you had in the past of this work, or also like any other presentations that are planned or confirmed for the future. additional information about the showing, like the development stage of the work that you're showing, and the audience exchange, even when it's not mandatory. There's, as I mentioned before, is I think it's a good opportunity for you to engage with an audience and also like explore critical questions that you would like the audience to engage. So you have like a first feedback on this initial stage of work in progress of that you're gonna be presenting. We have the support material sections, and as it says on the form, we don't accept more than 3 minutes of video. Like, it helps us really diving in on the work sample, and kind of like have a concentrated attention to what you want to share and how you want to present your work in video, and no more than 10 pages or of images or text. In the past, we have received this question of if these 10 pages of images and text, if, for example, you can include more than one image per page, and the response has been that it is possible, but as long as we don't need to zoom in that in the page to see the image. So yeah, the idea is not to fill the image with 20 fill the page with 20 images, but kind of keep it like a something that we can have an overview of the page if we are printing it, for example. And if you don't have support materials via URL, um, please like email me directly, and we can coordinate a way for you to submit your support materials. And under you can find the URLs and also the description, so we understand what kind of materials you're submitting. Give me a second again now to go back to the slides.
I forgot to put in salt and pepper.
Oh.
And I forgot to put in the mustard.
Hello. Yeah, I think that there might be some variable has not their
Got salt and pepper here if you.
the microphone muted. I'll ask you to mute, so yeah, there's no audio bleeding. Okay, so we're back in the intro, like in the slides, and we already reviewed the interest form. And I'd like to move now into the review process, the criteria that we use for reviewing applications. And as I've been mentioning, one of the main points that we use for reviewing is the trying to understand the project's alignment with LAPP missions. That is, one more time, to support a unique and diverse constellation of artists and audiences through the active creation and presentation of groundbreaking experiences that use innovative approaches to collaboration, technology, and social engagement. Those are some areas that we always are interested in, see how artists, LA-based artists, and are tackling, like how they are understanding collaboration, the use of technology in art, and also what does it mean for them to have to make art that have an interest in social engagement. So this is one very important point for the criteria that we use. A second point may be to the project's potential to contribute to an active dialogue within a network of contemporary practitioners in Los Angeles, curators and producers, artists and designers, audiences and patrons, all leverage in service to the ideas and issues of our time.
Branch.
It's important that in your project that you address where your work, how or where do you see your work in that network of contemporary performance art in Los Angeles. So we understand what kind of like community you're part of, and also what kind of reach your project has.
So
Finally,
over so much. It just seems a little crazy to me.
finally, on
I am.
on the criteria,
Okay.
we have the alignment between the project needs and LAPP current resources. Like we've been expressing like the scope of this program. Like it's
Categories,
addressed-
or like,
Yeah.
like what you should be thinking about.
These yeah, the limitations that we have in terms of production. So that's something that we also take into consideration when reviewing the different applications. It's like how it match like the realistic resources that we have, and yeah, and how your project align with those. Continuing on this review rubrics that we use, this resource matching means that casual is for a showing of new ideas and not actually an opportunity for technical or production development. Another review item that we use is also the sharing of your artistic practice that expresses in your work samples, and that helps us like answer questions as like, does the artist's past work suggest their practice involve taking creative risk, pushing traditional boundaries, and or engaging in deep research? Does the artist align with LAPP mission by using innovative collaboration, technology, and social engagement approaches? And and if does the artist appear to does the work appear to approach the experience of the audience or viewer with care? And while we encourage that artists approach the sensitive and important and key issues that we are experiencing as humans in general, we also think that it's important to take care of the approach, take care of the experience or how the audience is gonna experience your work and your approach to those sensitive subjects. So that that care of approach is also important for us when reviewing the different projects. And finally, there is the eligibility for applying for this program. And it's that first, the artist must reside in Los Angeles County. And second, that artists who receive an invitation to participate in research and like R&D, research and development, or research and development of parents, guardians, are ineligible to participate in casual. For those of you that don't know, this program is another program that we just like announced the recipients of this program. So yeah, if you receive one of those, then you're ineligible to apply for casual. So that's it on my side. Now I would love to open to any questions that you might have, or even comments. But again, if those questions come after, you can either review the recording of this session that is going to be available on our website really soon, or you can just send me an email. I will be happy to clarify any questions that you might have. Thank you, and yeah, I'm open to receive questions now. Thank you. Okay, if everything is clear, we can.
I have a question.
Isn't it?
Um,
Okay.
I-
Yeah.
yeah, are we gonna receive copies of the presentation you did tonight?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Sure.
okay, of the slides.
Yes. 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 I
Oh.
can together with the recording of the session, I'll be sharing the slides too, so you can
Okay.
consult.
Another question I have is with respect to your the artist's work, do
Mhm.
you have to already have a venue in mind, or you just put your product together and then start looking for a place to present it? How does
Yeah.
that, I'm not quite sure how that works.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you so much for that question. Maybe it's something that was not clear enough, and is that we are going to provide the space. We're gonna on October 19th, and actually very soon we're gonna announce the venue. That is gonna be like a mid to small size black box theater with minimum technical lighting and sound playback. So yeah, we're gonna organize the whole evening on one venue on one night. So yeah, we'll provide in the space. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So also too, is there a limit on the type, on the subject matter? Well, not a limit, but I mean, some subjects, could be triggering for audience members if you're dealing with discussion. I mean, your work is on like maybe domestic violence or maybe sexual assault or some of those, kind of real intense subjects.
Mhm.
Is there any issue with that?
No, we don't have any limits in terms of the subject matter that you use for your work. The only idea that I will mention there is that we do value the way that you approach those subjects, like like also doing it with care for the audience, like not like taking into consideration their experience as well, and also like how do you, if you incorporate in approaching that subject like LAPP interest for this program that is related to experimentation, is related to the use of technology, and also like the social dimension of the thing that you're approaching. But besides that, we don't have any limitations in terms of subject matter. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. I have two more questions here. And Ivana is asking if is there any limitation in terms of time in LA? And no, there's no limitation in terms of, if I'm understanding well, the question is like for how much time you've been based in LA. And no, there is no limitation there. As soon as you provide like a proof of residency that you are actually living in Los Angeles County, then you can apply for the program. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. And a question from Maria Mar says that in the case of collaboration, does one person have to be the main artist, and also do all collaborators need to reside in LA? No, I'm going to start from the second question. Not all collaborators need to reside in LA, but the main artist, and that answers the first question. Yes, there's the need of one main artist that is applying for the work in progress, and that person is the one that needs to be a LA resident. But if you are interested in bringing collaborators from out of yeah, from outside, you're welcome to do it. Just keep in mind that we will be also like interested in supporting LA artists. That is part of LA performance practice mission. Yeah, so we encourage also when you're designing your project to privilege or try to approach to the local artists, so we can keep the work more for LA-based artists. Thank you. Yes, there is a question from House Dow. Says that are non-citizens who live in LA eligible? Yes. Do we support the projects regardless of your immigration status? So yeah, as long as you're living in LA, you're residing in LA, you are eligible for the program. Yeah, thank you for your question. Is there?
Hey, William, I have a question.
Yeah.
Um, do you know what time of day the showings will take place?
It's gonna be an evening program.
Okay.
Yes.
And is there like an approximate length that you recommend for our projects?
Yes, like we don't want to limit like to go so too specific for the length, but it should be a short length to like towards mid length program. Like it shouldn't be like a evening long because we will be putting together four performances. So yeah, it's like we don't want to make we didn't want to make like a length, you know, a set on rock like how long the piece can be, but we'll try to put together a program that can happen in 2 hours. So yeah, no, I will say no more than a half an hour, and I will actually recommend to stay around 15, 20 minutes mark. But yeah, it's we can go a little bit up or a little bit shorter, but that's kind of the range. Yeah.
And then one more question. Is there a sense of like the capacity for the audience, like how many audience members will be present?
That will be clear once we announce the partner that we have, but it's gonna be like yeah, small to medium sized black box. So we are like interested in showing it in a space that is not too small, so it becomes more like a workshop kind of feeling, but it's more like a public performance, but it's gonna be not like a large venue. So I will say an average of 100 seats is what we're planning, and also to have some diversity of opinions if you're interested in having a feedback from what the audience see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Does anybody else wants to ask a question or a comment or yeah. Okay, so again,
Oh, I have a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
So my piece has like 300 light changes, but I'm gonna make it like 50 instead. And there's gonna be glitter
Mhm.
and water. It's immersive. And I'm gonna need 5 intimacy coordinators and a composer. Do you think you can support me on that?
Yeah, Marcia, thank you for that question. One, especially with the mentioning glitter and water, something that is important to keep in mind, and it's just we wanted to that idea to come from respect, not respect, but also consideration of the other artists that are going to be performing that day. It's important that that impact that you have on the stage is minimum. That means that it's easy to set up and also easy to strike for the next performance because we're gonna have very little time to reset. So definitely, if there's a like glitter all over, it will gonna take us like a lot of time to reset for the next performance. So maybe this is not the best opportunity for that kind of piece. And in terms of theme, we also encourage you to keep it concentrated because we think that it's important also that you take into consideration the amount of resources that you're gonna allocate to support your work. And we are only offering like this $500 for this presentation. So if you have like a huge team, then the resources have start becoming thin, and then we something that is important for us at LAPP is support projects that take into consideration the amount of resources that you allocate to support your work. That means that to pay for your work uh, in a sustainable way. That is not that you start like you end up not earning any money because you are going to invite a lot of collaborators and then you're gonna pay all of them and you'll end up not paying yourself. It's important for us that there is like a mindful allocation of resources, and we understand that your project is going to take care of paying in a responsible manner all the people that are participating there. So you don't stretch your resources to a point that is no longer fair to yourself and to your collaborators. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If we wanted to use projections, would we need to bring our own projector?
We can offer projections, just like make sure that you explain on your technical needs the need of that, and we can like coordinate with the audience with the venue. Yeah. Answering the question of Daria, like roughly speaking, what is the acceptance rate and how many people are selected, how many people apply? It's been I'm gonna start from the second part, like how many people apply, and it varies like depending, like it's very specific for the time of the year, because sometimes it matches another timeline of artists, and also depends on all what other programs we are offering. But just to give like a quick estimate based on on the program that we just not finished, but finished the application process, that it was R&D. We received close to 100 applications to that program. So it's like we're receiving a lot of interest, and we're super happy about it from LA-based artists. And for this program in particular, we will be giving four projects. We will be giving support to four projects. So yes. Thank you. And yeah, Ivana is asking about the sound system. Yeah, as I mentioned on the presentation, there will be access to PA. Just again, make sure that you are and there is one part on the application when it asks you if you're going to use or not a PA or a sound system. So make sure to you check that box, and it's going to be also minimal. So it's not going to, we are not going to provide a backline, or if you're planning on using live music, we cannot do we cannot provide like a writer that covers microphones for different instruments. So yeah, just be mindful of that it would be more for like reproducing sound from a laptop or of a computer, but it's not going to be a support for live music, for example. Yeah.
Oh, I have another question for you.
Yes.
So, if what if your presentation is something as simple as three actors sitting behind um, I guess a podium and
Mhm.
just reading the work,
Mhm.
and it does like no elaborate scenes. It's just the content is so is intense.
Mhm.
So you really don't need, all the other like props and all that
Mhm.
stuff, because I think the work stands on its own.
Mhm.
Is that acceptable or?
Yes. Yes, totally. We with this program, we like to focus more on the performers and what the scenic or performative part of the work is, and not that much on the technical aspect. So it's like just showing the core, the performance core of the work. So definitely, that's like a great example of a piece that adapts to the technical limitations of this program in particular. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to read your applications. Like again, one more time, if you need more like clarifications or you just want to have like an insight, more insights on this program, feel free to write me. I'll be available to like continue giving information about this, and as you work on the application, other doubts or questions might arise. So yeah, reach out, and thank you for joining. Thank you for joining today.